Yeah. So guys, today we will learn about Java keywords. Like Java keywords, it's very I mean, there are many keywords, so we will just have a touch on everything. Then later on, when we are doing a programming or when we are going to in the further topics, you will learn more about these keywords. Today, I'll just introduce the keywords one by one, so that we'll just complete in next few 15 minutes, and then we will go with our next topic. But when we are going forward, these keywords, whenever you're using in the programs, you will be learning it. Okay. So we'll start with the keywords. See, these keywords are nothing but they are the keywords that are actually used during our programming, like variables or methods or classes, or sometimes we even use as a functions also. So these are the basic keywords that basically in Java they inherit from OOPS concepts. You have already learned about these keywords. So I'm just giving a touch on this so that you can get yourself refreshed, or you can just have a remembrance of this. If you just go with the first keyword, it says abstract. Abstract is a keyword which is actually used to create the objects. So you already learned about the objects, right? Objects and classes. So when you're trying to create an object which is from a class, so at that time we use this abstract method. And going forward, you will be having a complete chapter of abstraction. So you will be learning more about this abstract keyword in the coming forward classes. Now, the second is assert, which is used for debugging. What is debugging? See, you have some part of, you will be having a code, and you need to debug the code according to the requirements. So here the keyword is used as assert. So this assert will go for the debugging of the concept. I'll just give you an example. When you're entering with a username and password, the password which you are entering will be having some uh, irrelevant alphabets or irrelevant identifiers. After going into the system, that keyword is again, I mean, that password is again debugged according to the uh, system. So it has to match with the key password, right? Whatever you set up. So there we use this assert keyword to get this password again encapsulated, or to be debug it, and then get yourself correct. I mean, to log in. The next is Boolean. The Boolean is the keyword which is used for true or false. So if you are creating a class where you have to find whether the logic is giving a true statement or a false statement. Like yesterday, when we are trying to use our operators, we have the statements like, if this is true or if this is true, then print this as true. So such type of only true and false logic will be held by this Boolean class. Okay. And the next is break. So the word itself, the keyword itself states that it's a break. So when you're going in a loop, you are doing some logic, you're going in a program step by step. And at some point, you feel that, I mean, the logic says that at this point, if you find an error, break this complete program and get out of that program and show an error to the customer. So there, this break statement is used. So I'll give an example here. The simple example, you're giving a wrong password. So during your when a wrong password is given, what does this statement gives? I mean, what does our logic? I mean, front end gives the error as? Anyone? If you give a wrong password, what is the error that is shown in the front end? So it is incorrect password, right?
Yes.
Yeah. So it's an incorrect password or mismatch of the username or password. These are such type of errors that are shown. So to get that error in the front end while in the programming, there you can use this break. So what it states, if this condition is true, then go forward, else break. So there the break comes and it comes out of the whole program, and there it ends, the program ends. So this is how this break is used. And coming to the next one, byte. So it is just to store the whole numbers from minus 128 to 127. Whatever the whole numbers are there, even the zero, this byte keyword can be used. And case. In this, I mean, it is similar to if statement also. So in switch statements, we use this case keyword. Going forward, you can learn the usage of the case. As of now, you will not understand, because before understanding case, you need to understand switch. So the next is catch. The word itself says it catches something. So during our program, if you want to catch any error somewhere during our runtime, somewhere the error occurred at some line, you will not know it saying in the logs or somewhere, but this catch statement catches this exception and throws to us. Okay, so this is where the catch keyword is used. And coming to this char is something which is used to store the character. So when you're declaring anything under a character, you can use this keyword as char. And class, you already know, it is the main also comes under the class, or if you want to have any manual thing, that also comes under this class. And the next is keyword is continue. Continue is the keyword which is used to continue. I mean, see, break is the keyword which used to come out of the programming, whereas continue is the keyword where you can continue the programming. So sometimes what the logic says is, even if there is any error, please continue. Then this continue keyword will be used, and you will be trying to go on to the further steps of the programming. And this const is a constant. So as of now, we are not using it, because final block, final is the keyword which is used instead of this const. And next is default. So it's something, the name says it's a default block of code. So whenever we don't use it generally, but if there is any purpose of having this code as a default thing, we mention it as default. And the next we go with as do. So this is a keyword which is used during our do while loop. So before knowing do, you have to know better about this do while. So you might get it in the next class. Double, it is similar to our byte. Byte stores a whole number where from minus 128 to 127. But this double stores a longer data, more than byte. So it is from around 1.7 e minus 308. It's something related to infinity, minus infinity to plus infinity. So double is the one which stores larger data, larger set of numbers. So whenever and guys, remember, when you're using these keywords, you have to make sure that you know the exact requirement of that keyword. If you want to store a lesser number, then you have to use only byte. If you want to store the longer number, you have to store this double. You have to store it in double. Can anyone tell me why this is required? Why we need to focus on the keywords before deciding which one to be used? What is the major part of it? What is the major difference before using them? Yes, anyone? Okay, so the major difference is they capture the size of their capability. So if you use double for a smaller number, already the space of that double is already occupied in your system. And even if you use a smaller amount, the other amount is left wasted. So while using it itself, you have to decide whether you're using double. Okay, so if you're using byte, it takes some space, and in that you can store any number of values. And if you are using a longer value, then you have to go for double. But without having the longer one, I mean, you know, right, vice versa, don't you shouldn't waste the storage, because the next programming will not be set up for yourself. And the next one is else, which is used in conditional statements like if else. If this is done, fine. Else, please print out this statement. So that is a keyword else. And enum. Enum is an like what do you say, enumerated type, which has which cannot change, which cannot be changed whenever we want. So if you want to change an int to char, it is possible, int to char or long var. So these type of interchanging of one data type to the other data type is possible, but if you declare it as enum, it is not possible. And the next keyword is exports. Exports is something related to a package. When we have any modules during with the packages, we can directly export them through this keyword exports. And we have extends. Extends is a class that is inherited from another class. So if you're having a class which is having a certain logic, but tomorrow after it has gone into the into the production, so after going into the production, you will be having some more client coming up stating that, see, this logic is fine, but you can add up this also. Then we have to maintain a separate class for that. So we use this extend in the previous block and we add up to the another class. And final, the word itself says it's the final block. Final block to have this modify classes or attributes, whatever, that we can close and we cannot again override or inherit. We cannot do any changes it again. And finally block is, see, final block and finally block are not the same. Final block is only for the classes, objects and all. Finally block is for code. So whatever exceptions are there, whatever the try catch block is there, that we write it in finally block. Finally block has the try catch methods where we catch all those exceptions and we throw it also to the front end. Float. A float is also similar to our byte, double, and float. So here also used as 3.4, which is more than the double. So float creates a space more than the double. And for loop, you already know. I mean, we already used for C and C++ also. So it's just the keyword of for. And go to. See, here it is written as no function, but go to function is used previously. When you just go back to your, if you get into old projects, you can see this go to function very unique, because this keyword is used. See, whenever you are at line 200 and you want to go back to line 100, this function, this keyword is used, and simple keyword is used go to 100. So it just switch back to the line 100 and starts executing the program from line 100. If you know it, right? If condition, if is the keyword. Implements is the word itself says it implements some program or it implements whatever we require. So to implement that, we use these keywords. Import. Import is used to import the packages, class, whatever interfaces. When you're writing the program itself, in the front, guys, is there any disturbance? When you're writing a program, while starting the program itself, you will be importing some libraries in our C++ program. So similarly, those type of import programs will be used here. An instance of is something related to class where it creates an object of that particular instance. See, this is something called as proxy. You have an instance specified at that moment, and there is something backend. What happens is there is an object created of that particular instance, and that occupies the space of that instance. So it reserves the space of that instance. So whatever that instance, wherever it goes, whatever it does, but its place is already reserved by this object. So for that purpose, we use this instance of. Int, you already know what does the int keyword does. Interface is something which is related to declare the classes. So it is between class and an object. So what we have this in conjunction of this. So there we use this interfaces. And long is the biggest data type, and the biggest numbers can be stored in this long. Module, the word itself says that it declares a module. So what is module? Module is something which is only having a particular phase. So if you are doing a logic of Armstrong, then it creates only the module of that Armstrong. So particular method, I mean particular logic or particular part of it is called as module. And native, as the word specifies, it is belonging to its own culture, its own source. So wherever the Java source is there, the native if keyword, if it is used, it is specified to only that particular purpose. New, as the word states, it's something related to new. Package, package is the same related, which is having a set of objects, set of classes, or set of methods. A package is something which has all the objects. So if we declare a class, object, and a method in one package, then this package keyword is used. Private, as the method says, the private cannot be accessed by everyone. So when it is declared under a class, all the classes cannot access this private class. Protected, so whenever in the same package or subclass, if you use this protected, only that class can have the secured thing, and none of them can touch that. I mean, any other class cannot inherit or cannot call it. And coming to the public, public is something which is open for everyone. So every class can use this objects or anything methods. So everyone can share it among each and every classes. And requires is like a library. So it just specifies the libraries inside a particular module. Whatever library is needed, we use this requires keyword. But as of now, objects, I mean the projects which we are holding till now, require is not that much used. Return, it returns a value. So the word itself says it is return. And short is a data type. You can just see the number is very short. So compared to byte, compared to int, short is smaller than int. Static, the word itself says it's static, which means it is permanent. We cannot change it, we cannot do any modifications when we declare it as static. Strict FP as of now we are not using because we don't have any floating points. So here strict FP is something which is a round off. See, if you have 0.005 and if you want to round off to 2 digits, what would be the value? 0, right? So we use this script FP to do that. And super keyword is used for when you're declaring a class like public static void some class name. That time if you use a super, it takes that as a parent class. So super class means parent class. Switch, you will be learning in coming classes. It's a code which can be executed if while and everything, which is also a part of them. Synchronized, as the word states, it synchronizes the methods or classes whatever use, and it is accessed only by a thread at a time. This is very like we use it very often. So whenever you go for a constructor, this will be present. If you are pointing out to an object, say you have a list of you have a front end where you have to enter the name, class, and your ID. So when you're entering the name, this pointer will point to the name. So this is how this keyword will be used. Throw, as I already told you, whatever you catch it, you have to throw it. So it's a throw error. Throw and throws are almost the same. but throws can be, I mean, throw can be, I mean, if you want, you can add it, but else if you can leave it. But throws, you have to add it whenever there is an exception. And transient, it's a non-access modifier, but see, it is not particular. Say, static is permanent, whereas transient is a persistent state, which is in the middle of temporary and permanent. It's like a transparent one. Try catch. You'll be learning it further. So var is a variable as int, long, byte, double, short. You even have var. It defines a variable. Void is something related to null values. So if you're declaring a class with void, it returns a null value. So there is nothing to catch. So here I just want to mention some mm, classes here if you have idea of it. So you're declaring a class, right? Public static void, some class name. Okay, you'll be adding your strings also. So inside it, you're writing some logic. After that, you have to return something. Okay, so if you say void, you can return null value. Okay, but if you say boolean, as we already learned boolean, right, in front. So if you declare it as a boolean, then you have to return either boolean. What are the keywords boolean is attached to? Can anyone tell me? Guys, can anyone tell me what is Boolean attached to? Okay, so Boolean is nothing but true or false. So if we give it as a Boolean, it either has to return true or it either has to return false. Okay, so this is how, I mean, these type of keywords are used. Volatile, as the word it says, it evaporates. So the when we already indicate attribute, there that memory is not stored, but you use it and you evaporate it. So you can delete it. It is deleted. The memory only is present only when it is in usage. And while it is a loop, so you will be learning while in forward. So here, if you just see true, false, null, whatever I've just written, return true, return false, return null. These are not keywords. They are just the identifiers. So if you are going to return an identifier, then you use this keyword. I'll give you this document, guys. You can just have a look on it. Okay. So now it's 8:30. Can we just take 2 minutes or 3 minutes break?
Okay, ma'am.
Yeah, meanwhile, if you have any queries about these keywords, you can just post me now.
Okay, ma'am.
Madam, are you going to upload this recording session?
Sorry, Tarun. Is it Tarun? Yes, Tarun. I am unable to hear you.
Are you going to upload these videos in YouTube, madam? Recording session?
A video I will upload as well as I will give you the document in your WhatsApp group. Okay.
Okay, fine.
Yeah. The next stop is control statements. So we'll be starting with that. So let me know if you have any queries on this keywords. Guys, what I'm thinking is these are like theory parts. We will go with the theory parts. What you say if we go with the programming also every day, the last 10 minutes, if we start our basic programs, will that work for you? Will you be able to understand using small things only, if conditions and small, the logics which you already learned for C++, we use the same logics here. We'll try to build the class, we'll try to create an object, and we'll try to build a program, compile it, see how it is coming. What are your opinions on that, guys?
Okay, madam. We'll do that.
Yeah, if anybody disagrees with that, let me know. I mean, I know it would be interesting for you people to get into the programming directly. But yeah, so if anybody disagrees, let me know before only. Just ping me in the chat box so that we can see how many are disagreeing. If there are less number, we may continue.
Madam, first of all, tell me what is the topic is that about, and give one sample program about that, like that.
Sure, sure. That is what we'll start with the basic program only. So the basic, like how to print a statement, whatever is required. We'll start with the basic only, and then going forward with every day we'll do it 10 minutes or 5 minutes. We'll just work on how this compiler works, how does our run, what is runtime, what is coding, and all. To the end, this theory part, whatever you learn, you have to put it in the coding only. So if you just start it parallelly, maybe it would be useful for you. That is my opinion. So what if you don't agree with that? Let me know. We shall wait for some more time. Yeah, I have sent you the keyword document. You can check later. So coming to our next topic, it is control statements. So in control statements, our first topic is if else. So let me know once you are able to see my screen.
Hey, Yogeshwari, Shiva here.
Hi, Shiva.
Yeah. So it is the training, or else it is an any placement oriented training.
I'm just giving training itself.
Okay.
So
Then I will drop. Okay.
yes, we are just done with the keywords. Now we are going for the control statements. The
Yeah.
next
Okay.
topic.
It's fine. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay. Thank you. Yeah.
Thank you. So yes, if else statements are something related to conditions, and if is a condition, else is also a condition. We use only if it is needed. We also include else if we have a secondary opinion. So if there is only primary opinion, if there is only one statement that need to be print with a basic condition to be checked, then we use only if. But if there is a binary, if there is a opposite statement that need to be printed, if this condition fails, then we use if else. So the logic something goes like this. If in a bracket, you write the logic, whatever we have done, we have these operators, right? So if according to the client requirement, we use this logic here, A greater than B or something like that. and then you will be going into the next line. And then next, you will be writing what to print there. If so, here what it states is if this is true, whatever the statement, if A is greater than B, if this statement is true, then only it enters into this if loop. If this statement is false, it will not enter this loop. Okay, so we will print. I'll just write print. Okay. Suppose if A is equal to 5 and B is equal to 6, then will this loop get executed or not? Will the output be true or not? Anyone? Okay. See guys, if 5 is greater than 6, it is false, right? This condition is not true. So it will not enter this if loop at all. So you will not be able to see DS, you will not be able to see true also. But if it is 5 greater than 3, then yes, this statement automatically becomes true. And then you can even check the print DS as well as print 2. It is like one step by one step, it prints whatever we need. Okay. And in the same condition, if we add else, if you are adding else, so if you are adding else here, then the statement whatever we that is failing, this is true, so this happens. If it is false, then automatically it gets into this block and it print whatever we give. Okay, so this is how if else and if else statements work. So in this if conditions, we can use greater than symbols or greater than operator or greater than equal to operator, less than or equal to operator, double equal to operator, not equal to operator also. So these are all the logical conditions under our arithmetics. Whatever is there, we can directly use them. So if is used to specify a block of code that need to be executed. So if is executed only if the condition is true. Else is executed only if the if condition is false, then only else is executed. As I already told you, 5 greater than 6, it is false, then only else is executed and it prints GF. So we also have else if. So if I say 5 greater than 6, then print true. Also, else if we have 3 components now, else A, B and C. See, if A is greater than B, then print true, and also check whether A is greater than C, then print 2. Hope you're getting it. Suppose our main result has to be something like this. We have A, B, C, 3 numbers. If A is greater than B, then print 1. And if A is greater than C, print 2. Else print 3. Okay. So now this logic, it goes something like if A is 3, okay, A is 3, B is 5, and C is 2. So now we'll just see the logic here. It says 3 is greater than 5 is false, right? So it will not enter into this loop and it goes to else if and check if it is A is greater than C. If 3 is greater than 2, Yes, it is true. So it goes with 2. But if I say C is equal to 6, then even this logic is wrong. It's false. So it doesn't print 2, but it prints 3. Okay. So this is how if, else are used. So here I will introduce the column, I mean the keyword switch. So switch is something where in the same block, same if blocks, if you want to use two or more cases, then you use switch. So in front of this, wait, let me write another code here. So you write it as switch. Okay, let me give you an example. Switch is something in our real time. We have our electric switches, right? This switch also works in a similar way. So if the logic is true, then only it is like if the switch is on, then only we get light. If the switch is off, then we don't have the output. So similarly here, if we give a switch statement and if we say some if and all, I mean whatever this code is there, we write the whole code in first switch 1. Then if this whole thing is true, then only switch 1 prints whatever the statement is required. If this is false, the statement whatever the condition is false, then the switch 1 is never on. It doesn't give us the output whatever it is required for us. Okay. Switch is used in such a way. Did you understand a switch concept? I know if else is easy for you people, but switch concept, did you get it? Yes, guys, did you get it?
Ma'am, can you repeat once again, please?
Yeah. Okay. So switch is something. I mean, switch is similar to our main switch. I mean, whatever switch we use it in our home appliances. So if you on the switch, then only you will get the output. To make the switch on, whatever condition you're giving in your if code, that has to be true. That has to be satisfying, then only this switch will give us the output whatever we want, or whatever print we are giving in the switch case, then that will be printed only if this if logic is giving us the correct value. So alternative, like if there are multiple blocks, then we use this switch. Generally in our daily runtime methods, we don't use switch because we go with else if and else. Okay.
Okay, ma'am. Thank you.
Yeah, yeah. Okay, so today maybe we'll just have a basic programming. So guys, I'm pinging you a URL in the chat box. So this is a compiler. It's an online compiler. You can actually have these, I mean, whatever program you want to practice, you can directly go to this compiler and start practicing there. So I'm sharing my screen of that compiler. So this is how the compiler looks. So this is called as a Java compiler, where you can write the program, whatever you want to practice. You can even run. It shows you the errors, it shows you the outputs, even the inputs can be taken, and whatever is you want to practice, you can do it here. So this is the basic program. If you just see, it has a class. Are you able to see my screen?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. So this is how we write the syntax of public class. I mean the main class. So it just says public class main. We learned the keyword public, right? So it is accessible by everyone, by each and every class. So we write the public as a generic keyword, and class is something which denotes this, the one which is beside is a class. So here we given the class name as main. So coming into our the next basis, if you there is another, the other class which is inherited. So here we have taken the keywords public, which is a generic one. Then say static, as I already told you, static is a keyword which is the permanent keyword. So static is a keyword we use it for permanent basis. And void. I just want to ask you people. I am expecting at least one of them will answer me. What is void keyword? What does it state? Well, or what does it return? Directly, I'm asking you. What does it return? Void. Anyone in the class?
It returns nothing.
Yeah, thank you so much. Yeah, so it returns the null value. It returns nothing. We don't need to return anything if void is written here. If I replace this with Boolean, then I have to return either, I have to write it here.
True or false?
Yeah, I have to write it here, return either true or false. Okay, so this is how it works. And if I write Boolean, if I don't return anything, it shows an error also. And this is a string arguments. See, this is the input, whatever we are writing it here. If you're calling this main function anywhere, then this args need to be replaced with some value. If I don't give anything, then it won't ask us anything also. Okay. So the system out print ln is the key, is the statement, is the syntax or syntax to print any line. So just save for yourself. I'm putting in the chat box. So system dot out dot print ln. It prints us what it prints the statement in this double braces. Double quotations. Whatever the statement is there, that will be printed in the output box. So I'm just trying to run here. We'll do one thing. I'll remove this semicolon to just see what type of error it comes. So if you can just see, it states that there is something missing here. Semicolon is missing here. So I'll add the semicolon here and run it again. Got it right? Hello world. Okay, guys. So this is a basic program. I have dropped the program in the chat box. So try to save it. We shall use it further also. Meanwhile, I'll go with some program which can use this if and else thing. The same, we'll use the same logic. Okay. So here I write it as int. I'll declare an int variable. Int x is equal to 10. Okay. What is this single equal to gives us? What does the single equal called as? Anyone?
Assignment operator.
Yeah, assignment operator. So I'm assigning int x is equal to 10, int y is equal to 20, and then I start with an if condition stating that x greater than 10, sorry, x greater than y, then print hello world. Okay. Else what shall we print? No word. Okay. So this is how I used if and else. It's a simple program, but you're understanding it, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. So if I run it, so I got the value as no word. So I will also add else if. Else if x is less than 30, then I'll ask it to print busy word. Okay. So it just checked x is less than 30. Yeah, it printed this. Yeah, we'll try with and operator also. And y greater than 40. So guys, first understand this logic. X is less than 30. What is x? It is 10. 10 is less than 30. Is it true or false?
True.
True. And y is greater than 40. What is y? 20. 20 is greater than 40. So it is false. True and false. What is the output? Is it true or false?
False.
False.
False. So it shouldn't print busy world. What it has to print again?
No word.
Yeah.
No.
So just run it. We got it as no word. If I replace this and with or, then I have to get it as busy world because it is true or false. It is true. Got it right?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
I'll just give you this example. You can try more of this. I'm putting in chat box. Guys, I'm not sharing this codes and WhatsApp groups. Uh, Please try to copy paste these things in your notepad or documents. Okay. So for now, if and else conditions and if and else programs, this is a simple program. Are you facing any issue in understanding those logics or in writing that program? Is anybody facing issue to understand the steps of programming?
No, ma'am.
Thank you, Shivani, for your answer. If anybody is having any negative response or if you're not able to understand, if you want more examples on this, let me know. You can even chat me on the WhatsApp personally. I'll give you more examples of this. Or if it is necessary for the whole class, we can discuss it again. So as of now, try copy pasting all this chat, whatever I've given you. Okay. And try to have that link. Try doing more assignments on this. Tomorrow, I want you people to work on this if else if, giving some examples. So the program which I already gave you, you can just change those numbers and you can just compile them in this compiler and you can provide those screenshots in a document. So I need at least two examples, two programs. You're getting my point now, guys? Who is the coordinator?
Me, ma'am. Santoshi.
Santoshi, yes. So I have given you the first assignment from my end. So what you people will do is you have go for this online compiler first.
Ma'am, your voice is unable to hear.
You, Santoshi, please mute yourself. No once.
Ma'am, can you repeat again, please?
Santoshi, please mute yourself. Yeah. So what I'm telling is you have to write two programs using the same code which we have already done it using else if and else if. So try writing your own system output prints in the compiler which I've shown you, the online compiler. Open the compiler, write your program and take the screenshot of the whole screen and put it in the document. Are you getting it?
Okay, ma'am.
So try writing two programs like that with different operators. Use and, use or, use not equal to also. Try those operators, put it in the compiler, take the screenshot of the whole screen, put it in the document, paste it. If you know how to do it, right? Print screen, open the document, do Control V.
Okay,
Your
ma'am.
answer will be pasted. Save it as assignment 1 with your name underscore name and send it to Santoshi. Santoshi, you please collect it from everyone and give it to me through a folder.
Okay, ma'am.
Yeah. By tomorrow before starting the class, I want this assignment to be collected from your end, Santoshi. Can you please do it for me?
Yeah, okay, ma'am.
Yeah. Thank you so much, Santoshi. Thank you, team. So don't miss this opportunity. Please try doing these programs in the compilers. You will learn more about it. And we shall meet tomorrow in the same session. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you.